do have the slideshow.
Field day?
Yeah.
Really? It's a slideshow?
Yeah.
It's your slideshow?
I could. Well, these are all the photos everyone's submitted. So I mean, I could play this in the background, or.
Maybe you have that going in the background while we're talking.
Is there music to it?
No.
So it's just playing the pictures? How many are there?
This many.
Okay.
As long as we go from the road.
Bruce uploaded a lot.
Is there a dead bird in there? Because that's Dawn's.
I couldn't find the dead bird now.
Is that dead fish or whatever it was?
Yeah.
Right? You take it out, Jason?
Yeah, why don't you play that in the background?
Okay.
Will that mess with your live stream?
No. But will it mess with people's attention? I will towards the end. I'm ready, by the way.
You're ready?
We're
Okay.
live.
Are we ready? Everybody
I
ready?
think we're live.
All right, guys, we'll bring the meeting to order. We'll stand up and do the pledge. Mark, take it away.
1, 2, 3. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome. Okay. Awesome. Welcome, everyone.
We have some new members.
Okay, what do we got?
If they're here, is Ryan Clark here? Vince Jimenez? Great. Jim McCauley? Jonathan Keller? No? Those are our new members this month.
And we welcome them.
And we welcome them with
We
open
welcome
arms.
them. Yeah, cool.
Actually,
I think you made them up.
is David Capone here? Jim Blaine? Rocky Trujillo?
Yep. There you go.
I got a winner! I got a winner! Let me get you
You
a lanyard.
get to say that.
You get a lanyard too, man.
Rocky and Jim McCauley? No.
Still not here.
All right. Rocky.
You got a quick one for old guy.
I know. Quicker mouth and gets me to trouble.
Oh, me too, all the time.
All right. Well, there
Thank
you
you,
go,
sir.
brother.
I'm
Right
official
on.
now.
Yeah, you are.
Daggone it.
Nice. Nice.
I'd like to thank
The academy.
I feel like I'm got the
Beautiful.
Medal of Freedom, Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Anything else from you, Brian?
You want to talk about the party?
Well, we're going to go to, before we do the party, yes, we are going to talk about the party, but is Matt here?
It's very short.
Matt, how are you? Well, stand on up, Matt. Higdon, right? Is it Higdon? Higdon. Okay, Matt Higdon is with us today. We'd like to bring you right up right away, Matt. That way, you know, hey, man, if you don't want to hang out and talk boring club stuff with us, you don't
Would you
have
mind
to.
putting this on?
What is this?
This is
It's a
just a
microphone.
microphone.
Okay.
You just put it around your neck.
Sure.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah. And we can electrocute you with it.
No.
So.
I've been tracking forever with it.
Yeah.
Right. As long as it's not implanted, I'm fine.
You can run, but you can't hide.
So what we'll do is,
this
Matt
okay?
is here with us tonight, but Don, why don't you introduce him and tell him why he's here?
Yeah, why
Or tell
am I
them
here?
why.
First
Matt's
of
here.
all, Matt and I met over at OES, Office of Emergency Services here at Solano County. I'm a part of the OES volunteers, and I got to meet Matt, and I don't know your exact title, but he's in charge of a whole bunch of communication equipment, is what I saw there, right?
There's a lot of equipment, yeah.
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 And I guess some of it may be available to those that want it, because they're surplus. And so I said, well, why don't you come and talk to the guys?
It's not that exciting. It's it's a bunch of old stuff, but yeah. But I wanted to talk to Don about it.
And plus,
Right. Well, rather than throw it out, I'd like to give you guys
plus
the
I
opportunity to
understand
look
you're
at it.
interested in amateur radio, and do you have your license down?
I do.
And
Oh, what's
maybe
your call
you can
sign?
join the club.
You may do a little bio. I do.
Yeah,
Give me
Yeah,
my
yeah,
background.
come on.
What's your call
Let's
sign?
go.
KG6HBB.
Cool.
KG6
Hotel Bravo Bravo.
H Hotel Bravo Bravo.
Yeah. And I have my general.
Where's G?
You got your general. Cool.
Yeah, that was up here when I so I took my tech around 2000, and I think I upgraded my general about 5-6 years ago.
Cool.
And I got into HF a lot most recently. That's when
Are you on HF most?
I was until my long wire blew down a couple years ago, and now I have nothing. So, and my wife won't let me put up a tower. So,
Well,
yeah,
Matt,
I'm.
antennas we can help you with.
Yeah, well, so there's other options now. So, yeah, I don't know if you want to hear. So I'm currently, like Don alluded, I'm actually the new Solano County Department of Public Safety Communications Manager, shop manager. So if anybody of you knew Rich Earhart, who was the previous commander over there, he retired, and I've sort of taken his role running the county comm shop. So we're trying to get it spooled back up to where it's actually effective. There's a lot of neglect there, and so we're going through that. We're hiring people, so if you know anybody that wants to be a tech or has any interest, there's still 2 openings, so we're still looking for that. I was previously with Motorola for 34 years as a field tech, all the way from mobile installer, up to a senior field tech. Worked on a lot of different systems, so all the way from analog all the way up to P25 digital, simulcast, multi-site, voted systems, wide area systems for public safety mostly. So, yeah, and so I was an ACS volunteer with the county for Kevin Ives got me to join years ago, and been not too active with it just because of work and family, but more recently, yeah. I guess that's probably where we've run into each other a few times.
Oh, yes,
Yeah. So,
ACS.
but more recently with the shop and OES and ACS and just talking with Don. And as we're cleaning out our shop, we're finding a lot of things. I've got a little museum going of some older stuff that we've uncovered. I'd like to invite everybody down there at some point. I'd love to have you guys down and just come by, and maybe when it's a little more ready, just tour the shop. But more.
Where is it? Where's it located?
So it's in Fairfield. It's on 500 Clay Street. It's sort of behind the sheriff's OES department,
Okay.
back there, sort of tucked away by the tracks.
It's the county coroner's office, so that's where all the dead equipment goes.
Right. Yeah. We're behind that. Yeah.
Future home.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Right. Exactly. So, but no. But yeah, we are going through some stuff, and I don't really have a lot of exciting, not really much electronics currently. But we've got some like nice Motorola cabinets and a few things here and there, and you guys are welcome to them if you want them.
What about those repeaters that originally you thought maybe you might not need? Do you need them, those old repeaters?
Well, they're not too old. We have some that we haven't really gone through yet to see what's what. I don't even know what's broken and what's working, so we're still going through those. So
Okay.
if anything comes up, a lot of it we have to send through the surplus system. So I can certainly give you guys the heads up that I'm sending something to surplus, and you can run over there that next Friday and see what's there. Or I think you can even bid on it online maybe. So yeah, I'd be happy to talk anything about county communications.
Cool.
Or ham stuff.
Are you part of a radio club?
I'm not currently part of. I've not been part.
Do we have room for another guy?
We've got
We
about
can squeeze him
90
in.
minutes.
You can squeeze
Do you really?
We have-
99.
Good news.
Really?
Good
Yeah?
news. We got
There's a
room.
slot open?
Yeah, we got
Okay.
a slot
Actually,
open.
you worked in 91.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Would you be able to leave us a link to find the surplus stuff if you put it online?
Yeah, I can see if I can find it for you, and I can forward it to. I only have your number, so I can forward it to you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't been very active lately because of all the slowdown with everything, but they're starting to ramp back up. So hopefully,
We could arrange a field activity, we could all go there and
yeah.
bring our wheelbarrows, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. You can actually stand in the bay now. There's room to actually see the floor. So it was, I can show you the before pictures. It was horrendous. Literally to the ceiling with junk. So,
What a trip.
yeah. So we're hoping to make it really the premier place in the county for public safety to come to, and I want to include you guys because I'm a ham too. So,
Well, I think it's great.
yeah, I think it'd be fun. So, yeah, I'd love to look into joining the club too.
Great.
So,
We can
for
help
sure.
with that. Not a problem.
Later on in the meeting, we were talking about public safety. I think Art brought it up, and how can we help with the community
Mhm.
as a club? So maybe you could give us some insight of that, because we got 90 people that all have radios and would like to help if we could.
Yeah. Well, I think the main thing through the county is we talk about the ACS, the Amateur Communicators, Auxiliary Communications Service, and that's the most direct way that you can get involved with the county. They have meetings, I think, every month at OES usually. They support a lot. Well, you've been on a lot of them. I don't know. Has anybody else in ACS here or been involved at all? No, a little bit. So they do a lot. They support like the Mayfair and the county fair. They have some more advanced equipment, mesh video systems that the amateurs help set up, command trailer with lots of stuff to do. So.
We worked the
Yeah,
Napa
I can get you
fire.
the information on that too.
We worked the Napa fire.
Hmm.
We worked the search and rescue, that poor young man that died up.
Oh, just recently, right?
Oh,
Yeah, right.
They
Yeah.
called me, I was up there on Sunday helping with communications in the command center.
You guys set up a tactical repeater, right, for the
Yep.
for the sheriffs, for the
Yep.
search team? Yeah.
And
yeah.
so we do a lot of really fun, well, that wasn't fun, but we do a lot of interesting stuff. I followed the animal rescue people during the fire, and we gave them little walkie-talkies because they didn't know how to do communications. And I communicated with the command center and followed them all over through the fire where they were saving animals.
Did you give them Jam RS or?
They've had little
FRS?
yeah, and they would call me in my car, and then I would talk to the command center from my car.
Cool stuff.
So,
That's great, Matt.
That's
Thanks
about
so
it.
much. Yeah, no, that
so
was
thanks
great.
thanks to Don for inviting me. It's
Yeah, no, we're
it's fun to be
glad
here.
you're
Yeah.
And I know for everybody's, totally anxious to see what's available and what, and I know everybody would love to go and see the.
Yeah, don't get your
See the
hopes up.
comp
It's not
day.
really that special. there's a few things, yeah.
You
but
never know.
but you never know. You might
You'll
see
be
something.
surprised what these guys will take.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if instead of
I know
throwing
there's
some
a
away, if you
crystal
can
in
use
there
it.
somewhere. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Where's that Quantar? Yeah, right.
You gotta get the old Motorola stainless steel console.
I know.
There was some up there, yeah.
Mars might use some of the racks.
We do have some.
Racks.
I have a ton of 19-inch racks. If anybody wants 19-inch racks, we're gonna put them in the scrap metal heap unless you want them. So, some aluminum, some metal. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got a couple pictures I can show you, but yeah, I got a box of crystals from I don't know MX rate. Yeah.
Them's fighting words right there.
Yeah.
That's why the military is using us. As a matter of fact, we are actually gonna be training the combat command on how to use HF, because they're so out
Oh
of.
really?
That's true. That's coming.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, Mike, can you close that door all the way for me, bud? Thanks, Brian. Matt,
Yeah.
thanks so much.
Can you see if there's someone out there real quick? Her name is Rachel.
No, I appreciate it. Do you want this back?
No, thank you so much, man. That's really cool. And
Yeah.
we'd love to have you join the club, man.
Yeah.
Where do you live?
I'm here in Vacaville.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're right with us. Are you on our repeater at all? You got any 2 meters?
Um,
Got like
yeah,
AT&T or something?
Yeah, I got a little something.
Yeah, cool.
Is that good?
We haven't met
Yeah, thank you.
every Tuesday night at,
You have a
8 o'clock.
Okay, I just got to put on the schedule, so I'll remember.
W6 VVR repeater.
Okay, I think it's in my mobile. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I'll
that'd be
listen
great.
to you guys.
Yeah, great to have you on there.
The PL's 127.3.
Yeah, it's probably already in there. So.
Yeah, probably is. Thanks, Matt. Hey, round of applause. Matt, thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
And if you like HF, 20 meters is wide open around 10 o'clock at night. Talked to Italy last night.
Which is why I can't get
Venice.
anybody on 20
So,
meters.
I mean, it was just like
Because
talking
it's
to.
open at 10
Really?
Did you order
I wish I could get my wire back up.
Huh?
Did you order a pizza?
I tried, but they wouldn't deliver.
Mike.
The delivery charges too.
Yeah, that's because her tower was leaning.
That's about as the best quality of jokes we get in this club, too. Yeah, that's
I'm trying to
about the
bring
best.
that down.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, guys. Next thing we want to chat about here is we had a board meeting before this general meeting, and the purpose of the board meeting was to start figuring out where we want to have our holiday party, our Christmas party. It's good to start thinking about these things well in advance, of course, because things get gobbled up pretty quick. So, who should I turn this over to? You, Brian, or you, Art? Which one of you would like to?
Or Don.
Don. Don's always on stage. He's like the star of the club. All right, Don, lead us on.
First of all, how many people speak Spanish? Okay, well, then he can be our leader for Chevy's, right?
That sounds good.
He can be our fajita king.
You know, I don't think most of the employees there speak Spanish.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. So bring us through how we came to our conclusion, Don, and where we're at.
Okay.
Yeah, let Brian do it.
Brian, yeah,
Let's let Brian do it.
Yeah, let Brian.
Yeah.
You just sit it here, it's fine. Yeah. Basically, Don and I started looking at some places. He looked at the Green Valley Country Club. but that was gonna be really expensive.
Yes.
So then we looked at Chevys, and we got a price at Chevys, and wasn't sure about it, but Art did some additional searching at some additional restaurants, as well as situations where we rent a hall and then bring our own food in. We have to set up the tables, clean it up, and stuff like that. So after doing all the evaluation, looking at the cost, we decided that Chevy's is about the best deal. We decided on getting the fajita bar, so it'll be like a buffet, and we'll have chicken and steak at the fajita bar. They'll also have rice and beans, corn, flour tortillas, lettuce, cabbage mix, sour cream, pico de gallo, salsa quesera, and sweet corn tamalito. And the buffet includes, let's see, I said that. The buffet also includes chips and salsa, mixed green salad, cheese enchiladas, chocolate cookies, a beverage, and dessert. And it's basically any soft drink, lemonade, iced tea, coffee, mini flan, and pineapple upside down cake are the choices for desserts. So basically, and the club's gonna, is going to subsidize a little bit. So basically, adults will be $30 a person, and that includes everything, tip, taxes, all. And a child, if they're 12 or under, will be $20. So if somebody wants to bring their kids with them, they can do that at a reasonable price. So we're going to do like we did last year. If you guys want to pay ahead of time, we'll have a way to do that. If you want to send a check in, or we'll be able to do it through PayPal. We're looking to get, last year we had 39 people. We're looking to commit to 45 people, which I think we should be able to do. And we're going to have the night where we normally have our meeting, which will be December 8th. And the Chevy's is over by the Solano Mall, out there by
The Hilton.
by the Hilton, by what do you call it's there?
Mimi's,
Barnes and Noble.
Fuddruckers.
Fuddruckers, and
Careful how you say that.
and that chicken place,
Yeah, Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Mel's Diner.
Is it gonna start at 7?
No, we'll probably start at 6.
Okay.
We'll probably start at 6. They serve the food for an hour and a half, which should be enough time for everybody to get stuffed.
I like 6 for a
For
start
dinner.
time. I mean,
Yeah.
personally, I'm good with 4:30, to tell you the truth. But.
Giving your age away.
Yeah.
Okay, well, not hearing any squawking.
We're all good with that, and if we're not, it's too bad. But
Yeah.
yeah.
1800, 6 o'clock?
1800, 6 a.m., 0600.
He likes those tacos for breakfast.
Yeah, yeah. I'm assuming if you wanted to, you can go to the bar and get something, a hard drink, if you want to get liquor. If not, like I said, the soft drinks are all included, which, and when we looked at when we looked at the price and we looked at the other places required someone to pick up the food, we had to set the tables up ourselves, we had to take the tables down, we had to clean up the place, all that. We just said, you know what, we want everybody to enjoy themselves and just get a chance. Because the one we had last year, the biggest complaint was that you couldn't get to see everybody because we were kind of sitting in close corners. Hopefully this way, getting up to the buffet, there'll be more room, you'll be able to talk to people and get to know more people and so on. And speaking of getting to know more people,
What a wonderful segue.
Mike,
Yes. Hi.
you're on.
Hi. Yeah. So
Well,
come on, stand up, stand up, stand up.
It come to my attention that this is a really nice club to come to. However, that's about all we do, is we come to the club meeting and go away. The repeaters basically died, probably because the repeater doesn't function. And I was just sort of kicking around the idea of a coffee meeting or get-together meeting once a month, at least once a month for the club members to get together and actually socialize instead of just coming here and sitting, listening to a bunch of people talk. That's basically it. It's you know, how do we approach getting a group together for a social meeting? Or do we even want to get a group together for a social meeting?
Yeah, so so this is kind of an open forum, just slinging some ideas around, guys, for a while here. And we had it in the past, and this has been kind of bugging Mike a little bit because he feels like, man, I just wish I could just hang out with everybody once in a while, you know, not just on the repeater for, you know, my check in, thank you very much, you know, and field days only once a year, you know, the holiday parties only once a year. And in the past, we had some social stuff going on, and I'm not just talking about special things like the fox hunt. I'm talking about, we used to go after the meetings, we used to run to Denny's, you know, and just kind of hang out and shoot the breeze or whatever the case may be. I remember we did have a couple of just lunch meetings over at, we had one there, but we, at the
Mel's Diner?
Mel's, right? We had a meeting or two at Mel's, just, and a lot of this, guys, is just, those meetings were just a few friends decided in the club, hey, let's do this, or let's meet for some reason, or something like that. But I think what Mike is proposing is something more, not so formal, but, you know, like everybody, hey, yeah, we should get together once in a while, and let's pick a day and do that. So just looking for your guys' feedback on that, what your thoughts are, and, you know, that kind of a thing.
It just can't be Wednesday mornings, they'll interfere with Dawn's lunch, breakfast meeting.
That's right. Or maybe we just go to Don's meeting with him.
There you go.
We just crash his breakfast meeting.
At Denny's in Fairfield, we solved all the world's problems from 7 to about 8 to about 9.
You're doing a terrible
And
job.
everything's better. And then we come back the next week, and they all went bad, we have to solve them all over again.
You know, it's gotten worse every time you guys meet.
Yeah. But it's a good thought. You know, the club has 91 members, right? That's a lot of people in the club. We don't really get together very often, and it is a good idea to do so. So, you know, we're just, any thoughts on this, you guys? Any feedback on it, or?
No, I think it sounds great.
Yeah?
We could have a summer picnic.
Summer picnic would be a good idea.
Do we do any service projects for organizations in the area?
We were just talking about that too.
Yeah.
We used to do Merriment on Main for the city of Vacaville,
Uh-huh.
and that was obviously December, around the tree lighting. I don't know, they canceled it for 2 years because of COVID,
Sure.
and I think the year before that it was canceled because of rain.
Yeah, it was, right.
So,
It's been a few years.
yeah, we need to get with Bob Hawkins, because he's kind of our liaison with the city and
That
find
was
out
always
what's
a
going on.
really fun one, too.
Yeah, you
I
get a
mean,
nice
everybody liked
red
that one.
sweatshirt, but
Yeah.
baggy sweatshirt that says Merriment on Main.
Right. Yeah, I still got mine.
I still got
Yeah.
mine somewhere.
And it was fun, too, 'cause you're always trying to find a lost kid somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you always get lost kids and.
Yeah.
I had one lady that lost her keys, and she said her husband's gonna be so mad if if he has to come out and get her in that car. And she was with a little boy, and they were late, and she was really nervous. And we got on the radio, and the Vacaville Police Department had the keys, and they came over, gave her the keys. I don't know how they found keys in that big crowd.
Somebody
And
turned them in, probably.
she was so happy, she gave me the biggest hug. She said, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, you know, we made her day.
Yeah.
Did we have a presence at all at the air show?
No.
No, that's all handled by military.
That could be a good avenue for publicizing the club.
Mm.
There's an air show here, isn't there, at Vacaville Airport?
Yep.
Don't they have some kind of a,
Doesn't he have the pancake feed still?
Oh, yeah.
they have some kind of an event here, that might be where we could do it.
Mustangs and everything.
Travis Air Force Base, the Mars organization that helps with radio communications. I'm in that, there's a few of us in this group that are in that. But getting involved with that kind of security stuff and communications on an Air Force base, they're very, very strict.
Well, it just seemed like every vendor under the sun was out there.
Oh, could be.
Oh, you mean like on a vendor, from a vendor perspective, like had a booth or?
A booth where you kind of let people
Advertise
know,
radio.
maybe
what did you call it, where people could get on the air with a licensed amateur and help?
Oh, yeah.
Notice station,
On the
like
air.
we do at Field Day.
Yeah, we could
Yeah.
do
Get
that,
on
if
the
it's a
air.
booth. I think that would work.
Out at Travis?
Well, if other vendors are there, I don't know why we couldn't, that's the question. If
But I
you-
mean, they wouldn't
I
care
never- I
about
don't remember
operating
that.
radios on the base.
Ham radios.
Well, not just to walk in with, but I'm sure we could work with Mars.
Mm.
But again, someone would need to take this on.
Right, that's
and
the only
pursue-
thing.
And pursue Mars.
Yeah, that's the thing, we've kind of, with the club, it's, you know, we have our officers, we have our directors, but everybody's busy and got lives and doing things. So what we try to do is like, this is a great idea, but we gotta get someone to spearhead it. You know, that's the thing. You know, who are we gonna get to spearhead it? Because we can't just load everything on Don, you know?
Try.
Why not?
It's work issues there.
But you know what I mean. So these are just so keep that in mind when we think of ideas like that. It's like, man, this would be a really great idea for the club to do. And we should be, you know, we should be doing that kind of a thing. Probably right. But we just need a body behind it. You know, we need to get a body behind it. And feel free to volunteer for anything. Yeah.
We have the, also the chili cook-off that DVBID does in Vacaville every year. And things that the Chamber of Commerce has, you know, we just need to get in touch with them, I guess, and see if they might have a use for us.
Yeah. And again, it just comes down to somebody doing that. You know, getting in touch. That
I
kind
can
of a
do
thing.
that.
Fabulous. Yeah.
Great.
Nobody. Let's put it this way: none of the officers or directors would oppose anything like that. Anybody who wants to step up and, you know, say, hey, I got a great idea. I think this would be really cool. I'm going to look into it. Then we can ask the club on nets and ask the club at these meetings, hey, if we get this going, who's in? And then I think you'll be shocked to find that a lot of people are going to go, yeah, you know, yeah, let's do it. So it's
We have our
You know-
Peak Walk concerts, you know, Friday nights, for a little while longer, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, you can mention the club does have liability insurance.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
that covers us.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
If we do, you know, activities. So.
When I was looking into us having field day at Lagoon Valley, they asked for our insurance, and Brian sent it to me, and that insurance that we had was adequate.
Good.
Oh, it usually, actually, used to be $1 million, now it's $2 million
Yeah.
liability.
Inflation.
Yeah. Yeah, I've used it, what'd you say, Brian?
Inflation.
Inflation. Yeah, really. Yeah, I've used it for Hamfest and stuff like that.
We just had the big carnival a few weeks ago, a month ago or something.
I mean, what would you do at a carnival? What
Same thing.
Oh, that one.
Kids get lost in carnivals, people drop their keys.
Same thing like Mary Met on Main.
Exactly like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that would be great, man. I mean, so, you know, Dawn is our special events, you know, committee. But just, you know, doing the field day was a huge endeavor to get that all up and running. So any assistance Dawn could have in any things like, you know, things like that are just fantastic. Everybody's open to it. Everybody would love it. I would just say if anybody has an idea, just run it past the board, run it past us, and you're gonna get a wholehearted, go for it, you know, more than likely. And then we can announce it. We put it in an email blast to the club. We can announce it on the nets. We can, you know, announce it here in the meetings, and we can see what kind of participation we get. You know, that's the thing. You know, and you know, you might get good participation. You might not get good participation, but what's it matter, right? What's it matter? Yeah. But as far as just the get-togethers, I think it would be cool if we maybe started, you know, on the nets. You know, how's our nets doing as far as check-ins go? We have a pretty good number check-in on the nets.
Well, it's not bad as far as the check-ins. The thing I have about the nets is that's pretty much all it is a check-in.
Mhm.
You got a little bit of update and check-in. And
It's over.
And it's over. And it's the after-net stuff that would be fun. I've offered to do CW. There's Mike and a few other guys that want to do CW. I even brought my code oscillator in case anybody wants to play after the meeting. But,
Yeah, I
so-
also tried to get up some 80-meter stuff on 3930. and I've only had a couple people show up after the net. They can do it on 40 meters too, but 80 seems to be more wide open later that in the evening. And, 15, 20, just rag chewing. I mean, we're not talking about any controlled
Anything formal.
format. It's
No,
just,
it's
what
just
do you wanna
shoot the
talk
breeze.
about?
Yeah, shoot the breeze.
Yeah.
The only thing is though is, because I know sometimes we want to make the net like a little more engaging and that, but when you're trying to get through 91 call signs, there's not a whole lot of time to, hey, so how's it going, Don? What'd you do today? At like 12 p.m., it's like, okay, number 39, are you here?
We don't call
You know,
all 91.
Yeah.
They haven't been checked in at least the last
Yeah,
three nets.
but still, it's,
Then we
it's,
don't call you,
it's,
then we call you if any missed check-ins. If you check in, you catch up to the
You're
3
back
that we
on the
call you
list.
every time.
yeah, but it's still boring.
Now, if you guys listen to the Coffee Net, or is it the Coffee Break Net on W6EK? Do you know what I'm talking about, anyone?
They call in by suffix?
Yeah, well, no, what I'm getting at is, I don't even know what day it is, but they're regular. They're regular on the air, I
Every
think
day.
it's like lunch or morning, breakfast. So maybe if we don't wanna commit to a physical place, we need some commitment of people being on a repeater on a set day and time of the week. Like, let's say Tuesday at 10, or whatever we wanna say, and we have a coffee net or whatever. And so what
That's
this
a
net
cool idea,
does,
man.
this net
Mhm.
becomes a round table of like, what are you doing? What are you up to?
Mm.
And if I knew a time and date, I would probably get somewhere at work that I could
Mhm.
probably check in as well. Like
Mm.
if I knew what time traffic was
Mm.
gonna be on the
Mm.
repeater, et cetera, et cetera.
And so this is an everyday thing.
Not necessarily, no, this would be maybe like a once a week thing.
Mm.
But again, we would need someone to commit
To running it.
because they have
Yeah.
like 2 guys that are hardcore, they're on there every day, they're net
Yeah.
control, and all they're doing is just passing the mic around. They're
Mm.
making sure
They're
that
just
everyone,
moderating it.
that's it,
Mhm.
that's it.
Mhm.
There's the noontime net that's on every day.
On 40 meter.
Some guy out of, on 40 meters, that's
Yeah.
always fun. Some guy from,
No,
Tehachapi.
Yeah.
Oh.
He runs that net, but we
Yeah.
hear him all up and down the state.
yeah. I checked into it.
Yeah, there are some nets.
I checked into it, yeah.
I've checked into nets
Yeah.
while driving in the RV,
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
usually on 40 meters.
Because most of these successful nets, it's one person with a flame in their tummy.
Right.
Yeah.
You
And
get
just
somebody
go,
behind
yeah.
it who's into it, who wants to spearhead it. Just like everything we're talking about tonight. You gotta have that person who's like, this will be cool. And it will be cool. What's up?
But
With 91 members and this kind of a turnout, has anyone ever surveyed the rest of the group as to why they aren't participating?
Had a lot more last month.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some reason that there wasn't gonna be a lot here tonight. That's why we're streaming it. I don't know what that reason was.
What, some of our members are across the bay. I know
Yeah, we're
about 6
starting,
of them are Antioch,
Concord.
down Richmond, past Richmond, down there.
Walnut Creek,
yeah, we got
Crescent Hill,
one in San
Yeah.
Mateo now.
Yeah.
There's a couple
Rio
up in
Vista,
West Sac.
Antioch. Yeah, that-
Concord?
Hey,
Yeah.
Frank?
Antelope, and west of somebody in Sac, somewhere.
Yeah, well, and the thing too is like, we used to not even have the meetings from, what was it? We used to
For
skip
about
3
a-
months. We used to skip, from field day till, like,
September.
Labor Day.
September or something, right, yeah, we would skip the meetings just because it's summer
people
and
are
people are
away.
gone, right? People are on vacation, people are out doing things, it's not, it's like this, is why?
We did have some activities though, like fun activities during the summer, like the fox hunt.
Right,
And a
Where we tried to find.
barbecue and the
find
fox hunt,
these,
yeah.
hidden transmitters. And, we had, events where we built stuff, what we did,
Kevin's garage.
Anderson pole stuff, and what
Yeah.
else did we do?
did the,
Oh, we did when we were building,
yeah, what was it, attenuators, attenuators.
attenuators
For fox
and,
hunt.
Yeah.
and the
Mhm.
meters.
Well, that's when we had Kevin,
Yeah.
you know? We should just
Hey,
get
Frank?
Kevin back here. She got it.
Tuesday night, Benicia had their meeting. There were 6 people in the EOC.
Hmm.
Okay. Everybody else was online.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So it's not just us.
yeah.
Well, we have
No.
people on Zoom here. This meeting is, we have some people in person, And some people are still doing Zoom
Actually, this is YouTube.
or YouTube. We're doing it on YouTube, yeah.
No, they were using Zoom, but, you know, they have a number of people who still feel that,
They're still worried
they
about
don't
the
need to be
code.
out any more than they
Need to be.
need to be.
Sure.
Well, we got,
And that's fine. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
look at all the new members we've got that aren't here tonight. It's just a matter of getting them used to coming, I think, a bit.
Mm,
yeah.
mm,
They're brand new.
mm.
So does anybody here tonight wanna take on any kinda weekly net? Or not even commit to a net,
Yeah, don't call
Just-
it a net.
No, just call it
time and day to be on the radio.
a talking,
Rag chew.
a
Yeah.
rag chew.
A regular rag chew.
Yeah.
Rag chew. The Vaca Valley Rag Chew.
Why don't we try it, Wednesdays at 10 a.m.?
Okay.
Okay?
You guys are out of bed at that time?
Yeah, yeah, I can roll out and get on the air. I can be in my underwear, not a
Is
problem.
it possible to be a different
Oh,
day?
God, I got a
Does it have
picture
to
in
be
my
Wednesday? 'Cause
Oh.
OES, yeah, OES, that's
All right, do a different day. How about Tuesday?
Thursday, no, I thought
Tuesdays
doing
on
it
net.
after our net.
Oh, that's our net, right. Wednesday, Thursday?
Thursday at 10.
Thursday at 10?
10:30, something like that, yeah.
Thursday or Wednesday?
Thursday.
Thursday,
Picture 10:30.
And all this is
10:30?
yeah.
All this is like a time and a place, like a date.
Yeah.
You know, like we'll just see who shows up and
We're
swipe
talking-
right.
What's the frequency?
On our repeater.
Our repeater.
Our repeater.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
not gonna do it on 40 on high?
No.
meter?
what about all our
Our
texts?
repeater, we wanna get our repeater
okay.
being used.
Yeah, get it.
We may branch out from that.
See, the
maybe.
coffee
Yeah.
break is every day, so.
Is it every day?
It is every day.
Well, let-
and
At what time?
From 7:30 to 10 o'clock, sometimes it goes till 10:30.
Oh,
I don't do anything
so-
at 7:30.
Is that on HF?
No,
Nope.
Oh,
that's
what-
W6EK, right? Is that the right repeater? W6EK. It's up in the foothills.
Mm.
As long as you have a roof antenna, it'll come in.
Well, I mean, if we just start with Thursday at 10 or
Let's start
10:30?
Thursday and we'll see what
Let's try
happens.
10:30, please.
10:30.
10:30.
10:30.
Thursday, 10:30, we can start.
Are you gonna put out an email, Brian?
Well, who's gonna be the boss? Don. Don's the boss of everything.
I'll be the
Leave Don
boss.
alone for a bit.
Brian will be the boss.
At Darn Field, they wore me out, guys.
Brian with a Y.
Brian with a Y. Brian.
Be there or be square.
And what are we calling it? What's that fun name?
Coffee clutch.
Coffee what?
Well, coffee's very heavily used.
That's it.
BSS.
Yeah, there you go.
Huh?
Bullshit session.
You got it.
Uh,
The BSS net.
Why don't we call it the Wine Country Net?
We're not in wine country in Vacaville.
We're Cowtown, Cowtown,
Pretend.
Cowtown's
How
level.
about
Shake and
call it the
bake.
Cowtown net, because that's what Vacaville stands for.
Yeah.
Vaca is
Cowtown.
cow.
That's pretty good. I like
Yeah,
that.
it's good Cowtown, but we didn't want to call it that,
Cowtown,
right? So,
Cownet.
Cowtown call-in.
huh?
Cowtown call-in.
I like it. Cowtown call-in.
Cow pies.
Cowtown. Cow pies. It's a Cowtown call-in, we're all cow pies.
Road apple game.
Cowtown call-in. I like it, man.
Roll with that.
There you go. Mike,
Yeah, no.
look what you started, Mike.
Yeah, I know.
Now there's a Cowtown call-in. Thursdays at 10:30.
I don't know how long that's gonna last.
And it
Well,
could
let's
turn into
just
a
see what
physical.
happens. I'll be on it.
It could be something physical as well.
I had
Oh,
a
yeah.
physical, it wasn't
If you
fun.
got a lot of bull.
Not talking about a colonoscopy.
No one's bringing
Told you it was a
Twister.
bull.
No one's bringing Twister.
Nobody's bringing Twister.
All
Jason
right.
says.
Well, the nice, hey, you know, that is true. You know, you could actually still do it on the radio, just some people are hanging out somewhere while it's going down, you know? You know?
What else you got? I think we killed it.
All right, so, well, good, that was a good discussion, right? It was a good discussion. I'm glad we had it. What time is it? It's 7:45, roughly. All right, so we do have a video that we can play right now.
Before the video.
Before the video, oh, wait, did I miss something?
We have I forgot to mention, we have a 1-minute clip of our conversation with the International Space Station
Oh, good.
from Field Day. with,
Wait,
The Bob?
Mike,
Bob
what is it?
Hoskins, yes.
Just wanna make sure everybody signed in before I forget about it.
Okay, yeah, please sign in, guys.
We're checking.
Yeah, it's very convenient.
It's a lot more legible than my signature.
That's true.
Also has your expiration date on there if you're.
Just to be safe.
Oh.
As it gets close, they turn red.
You gotta listen very carefully here.
I'm a few years off then.
Most people are just able to check in, and they don't get to talk to the astronaut. Bob Hawkins actually talked to the astronaut, so you gotta listen very carefully.
And I think we got a picture of Bob, right? We got some pictures. Oh, here,
Is it a
I'll,
little
I'll,
spacey?
I took a picture of him there. Or you did, I think.
Whiskey 6, Victor Romeo.
Microphone.
Whiskey 6, Victor Romeo. Take it. Victor Romeo, this is November Alpha 1. November Alpha 1, Sierra, QSL, Charlie Mike 98.
Nice from low Earth orbit.
So
Thanks for the contact.
he said, welcome to lower orbit. He was in a low orbit over our area.
That's it.
And their call sign, November Alpha 1
No.
Sierra
November
Sierra.
No,
1
November
Alpha
1 Alpha.
SS.
No, it was November Alpha 1 SS.
NA1SS.
Oh,
Yeah,
NA1SS.
And
NA1SS,
the
right.
NA was for
NASA,
NASA,
yeah.
and the SS was for space station.
Ah.
QSL, have you now, man. Thank you.
this is really bad quality.
Sorry, Frank.
Anyway, it was really amazing, and he said, when we heard it, you have to listen to it again. Maybe we
Oh, is
can-
that mine?
Maybe we could put that on our website, that MP4, so you could listen to it. And he said, when he said, welcome to lower orbit,
Well,
And it
Bob didn't expect to, Bob thought he'd just get the repeater and he'd have somebody talk to
Yeah,
him.
there he
And he
goes,
was like
say
shocked when
again.
somebody came back.
What's that now?
Stage fright.
and those letters and numbers that Bob gave after the call is his grid coordinates.
Flip him the other
When you
way.
make the call with the space station, they want to know what grid you're in.
Yeah.
And so you have to give the grid coordinates.
Yeah, we wanna give you a blinding light, you know, so you
Yeah.
can see.
It's like looking at my wife's smile.
We see the.
Better?
There we go.
All better?
Thank you.
Okay.
And it's been, I mean, for those that aren't aware, I mean, it's probably been a good 10, 15 years since the space station randomly picked up the mic. You know, before that,
Yeah.
you had to do a whole application, typically you had to be involved with a school, and it was just a very, you know, like, people would always be like, oh, it's cool, ham radio, talk to the space station. I'd be like, well, that's not that easy.
No.
So the fact that this happened during field day and, you know, Bob was there to experience this, that, it's a fairly big deal. And it sounds like whoever's up there right now is using the radio, more so than,
Well, they have two now.
yeah, that's true.
They
They got
finally
some
got
new
two
gear,
back
right?
back on the air.
And Frank you talked.
I
to
got him
me-
too.
He talked to the space station
Yeah.
too, but he didn't get it recorded.
I did, but it's really hard to hear.
Yeah.
You can't really hear very well.
Okay.
But I got him.
Toys
I
with
did.
them. They take their toys with them.
Yeah, yeah.
And all you really need is a tape measure Yagi.
Yeah. Little handheld thing and a mobile app and figuring out where the darn thing is and then
They're only 100.
calling.
Yeah, there's an app, Art was using it, you guys were using it, and it tells you when the space station will be in the orbit so that you can talk to it. Line of
Actually
sight.
shows you all the satellites.
Actually, it'll tell you all the different satellites up there. You just pick the ones you wanna go after, and then it'll show you exactly where they come up, where they go down.
Yeah.
And when I haven't had all that much good luck because just the way I am. At any rate, but the ones I always shoot for are the ones that are the high orbits, not the low orbits. Low orbits are hard to catch, and you only have a limited amount of time.
Right.
High orbit, you'll have 6 or 7 minutes.
What time of day did Bob make that?
He was at 6 p.m., I think,
Okay.
and then when I got him, it was about 11 a.m.
Because I know some people were on like late at night.
Yeah. What's surprising is how often they get around. Like,
Every 90 minutes, but.
Yeah, is it?
Not necessarily, yeah.
yeah, that's pretty fast. They get around, man.
Now, that is the International Space Station, but these other satellites, they're up there, they're AMSATs, amateur radio satellites, and they're like repeaters, except our Mount Vaca is moving over the Earth, and so when you talk to that satellite, it repeats to another part of the world, and you never know who you'll pick up and talk to back and forth.
Oh, wow.
And and it's very short and sweet. You give your call sign, your grid coordinates.
Like
Yeah,
FTA.
'cause it's moving. They move quick.
There's a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of traffic.
2 minutes,
that's why.
17,000 miles.
You gotta track him as you're talking.
Yes.
2 meter 440.
How do you, compensate for Doppler on that, though?
I don't know.
If you have a program,
Huh?
if you have a program that you have on your calculator, it'll tell you which channels or which frequencies to move, where to move.
Yeah.
And you can at least I can program my handheld to automatically start moving with it.
No, you have to do that on both frequencies,
Both-
right? The up
yeah,
and
both
low and
ends.
one
One
down.
goes up, one goes
Okay.
down.
Most people will just take their radio and you go into the menu and you tell it to step in the smallest intervals, right? So instead of like 5 kcs or 3, it's just very little. And so what happens is as you're talking, you're gonna roll the dial.
Oh.
Or as you're receiving. So a lot of people do it manually. If they lose it, they'll knock it this way, knock it that way. They'll just kind of look for it.
I've got an old radio, FT-47,
I have.
and I'm learning how to use it,
2D.
and I looked at it,
Yeah.
and it has
Yeah, you can
Doppler
run
shift settings.
frequency on it.
On the radio,
Wow.
if you look up in the, you look up an owner's manual, FT-847, and I haven't had time to learn how to use it yet, but it has the settings for Doppler shift.
Okay.
Road trip. Yeah, Bob's antenna looked way cooler than those.
No, Bob had an arrow.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
I have an
The
arrow
tape
also.
measure, the actual tape measure Yagi is actually in the newest edition and the last edition of the physical print for the radio merit badge for Boy Scouts. Has all the specs in there, exactly how to make it.
Oh, there's my RV.
Here's mine.
And you don't have to worry about measurement.
Nope.
It's built-in measurement, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, we do have Bruce gave us a video if we want to watch it. It's
Hey Frank,
yep,
before I forget it, can I say one thing?
yep.
Okay, I'm looking for somebody that collects old radios. I have an old late 30s, early 40s Zenith console radio that my tenants decided they were electronic whizzes on and detuned. It's all there with a rip speaker. I'm trying to get rid of it. I don't want to throw it in the trash. If anybody knows anybody that would like that thing,
Dan does, Dan in our club, he collects old radios.
okay.
What's Dan's?
ETO?
ETO?
K6 ETO?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to my video.
That's not.
Hey, let's kill a light.
Sorry, it jumped on me here.
So how do I get a hold of Stan or have him get a
No,
hold of me?
He's on the
Dan,
roster.
DAN.
Oh,
We got-
Dan.
Yeah, young Dan.
Where is Dan tonight?
All right.
There you go. That's good.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
My name is Bruce, and I'll guide you through my trip when I went down to Quartzsite, Arizona in January 2022. Enjoy! All right, I thought I'd show you where Quartzsite is in the country. It's right here around this red dot in Arizona. So if we zoom into that, we'll land right at Quartzsite, and it's right there in the middle. Quartzsite is right there. If we move south on Highway 95, we'll find the Roadrunner camping area, which is basically this triangle right there. So there's a triangle BLM land, and it's surrounded by a Pipeline Road here, Pipeline Road, Highway 95, La Paz Valley Road here, and a dirt road, the old Yuma Road. This is where Quartz Fest is held. So this is the road coming into Quartz Fest. It's in the Roadrunner Campground, the BLM area of Arizona. And as you enter off to the right, the first thing you see is lecture area number 3 with the white screen. After that is lecture area 1, the main area with the fire ring. And turning left, you'll see bulletin boards and the blue welcome tent. The blue tent is where you sign in and check in. And they take a head count. We were in Roadrunner number 2 on that list. There's 5 campgrounds right near the Quartzsite area, and we were in number 2. It's 14 days. So continuing back, you just have to find a place to park and set up next to your neighbor.
When you come, if you have items to sell, we ask that you set up around the main Quartzsite area, the breakfast area right in here. Because if you're out in the outlying areas, you're not going to sell anything. Nobody's going to be looking out there. So if you set up out in here, you probably do pretty well. Folks are usually out shopping with flashlights long before daylight.
Bring your plates and utensils with you, tables, chairs if you have them, and let's have a good time. If you have tables, 6-foot or 4-foot plastic tables that you can bring out before the potluck starts or before happy hour starts, that would be great so we have something to put food on.
Testing both today as well as Wednesday with Dave and Tina and the W5YI group, as well as Saturday if you want to upgrade your ham ticket. And Tuesday is the RV show, and Tracy and Jody have already checked it out. It's in the big white tent in town, and they say it's a goodie. The hike from Poda to Thursday morning to Cunningham Peak.
Does anybody else have anything for the net before we close?
WB7 Ohio.
Oh, well, go ahead. Sorry, Chris, I'm late. Has anybody mentioned the special event station? Oh, yes, Tom did, Eric. Okay, I'll be there in a minute, thanks.
That's Bruce's 300-watt linear amplifier. I don't know if you noticed it.
With all the heat sinks on it?
Yeah.
So what do you got going here at Quartzsite here in this trailer?
We have a club trailer from the Northern Arizona DX Association. In this trailer, we bought from ARCA at Quartzsite the last time. We were here in 2020. We made 3 operating positions inside: FTA, sideband, and CW up front.
Nice.
We've got 3 antennas, including a tri-band and 2 end-fed half-wave. And we got enough to keep everybody busy. We just need some people to operate.
This is my friend Don, first timer.
Nice to see y'all. 7300 or 7610?
That's 7300.
Yeah, 7610 has touchscreen too. It's very interesting.
How do you like it?
I like it. The biggest problem I have in my area is noise. So I talked to
Went to the neighbor's house, knocked on the door, and they said, yeah. I said, my cat is somewhere on your property. He goes, what? Oh, you're the ham. Yeah. Come on in. And you'll actually put your hand over here for deep freeze. So go ahead and turn his hand over the antenna.
That's how he could find his cat. He was out of town for a couple of weeks. His wife let the cat out. The cat got caught in somebody's garage container for a week. It was living on condensation of water. But he found it with a direction finder.
And here's the motor, the actuator, and the electronics. So we're underneath a beam antenna that looks like it is pneumatically raised. And this gentleman is going to tell a little bit about this antenna.
Yes, it raises up in just a few minutes and comes down in a few minutes. Goes into bars that wave out the side. They fold over and lays it across the top of his trailer. He made a PVC rack, very sturdy, secures that, and that's how he transports that. He said the day he came and hooked it up, he was talking to somebody over in Africa. That's a long way from Forsyth, Arizona.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the description.
You're welcome.
Gentlemen, right now. Noticed how carefully these gentlemen handle the balloon. It's full of hydrogen with a APRS transmitter, solar panel, and a 2-meter radio. Good luck, guys. 32,000 feet, next up. Now, I came back the next day after this launch, and that balloon had crossed from Arizona through Texas and was over Louisiana at 100 miles an hour at 31,000 feet. There she goes.
That's right, where planes fly.
They're like,
30
really?
altitude.
Wow.
Jellyfish in the sky.
Did you see that?
They got a lot of stuff going on Quartzsite that's fun.
Here we all are before sunrise to watch a ham radio balloon.
Very light payload on it. And we try to make it go up and become neutrally buoyant at a certain altitude. And that's where the balloon displaces the same amount of weight of air as the air and levels off and floats. And what we're going for is trying to do long duration. It's usually made out of a form of a Kevlar thread and then a transmitter hanging under that. And on top of the transmitter, there will be a solar panel. The solar panel's up here. I'm going to have Jed pass this around. The solar panel's a little square box right here. And that's as big as it is. For most of our flights, we're flying APRS, so the whole flight package. And the flight package will include a GPS receiver, GPS antenna, a 2-meter transceiver, 2-meter antenna. It may also include an HF transmitter, an HF antenna, a full 20-meter dipole, 32 foot long, and a solar panel, supercapacitors, voltage regulators, and obviously a little computer to go for it. And I probably forgot some other parts. And all the rigging. All of that has to weigh less than 2 US quarters. So that's a huge challenge.
So what's the frequency we can monitor the balloon on simplex?
Well, it's your standard APRS frequency of 144.390 in the US, but the tracker is geofenced because as it travels over other countries, especially in Europe, the APRS frequency changes. So it's frequency agile. We'll change frequencies based on the area it's over.
All right, that's the PPO radio right there on the table. Okay, it looks like the balloon yesterday made 31,000 feet by 10 o'clock, and it was launched around 7:30. For the people who can't read that, can you describe what we're seeing?
The balloon's moving at 100 miles an hour at just under 31,000 feet, and it's about gray line there, so it's just about to lose the sun. Voltage is down to 4.49 volts, so anytime now we'll get our last transmission for the night.
We're launching our own balloons.
Oh, that looks great.
Is that how that fire got started in Yosemite?
Yeah.
That's going fast.
Don't tell them though.
If you did that out here, you'd be arrested. And in the desert, no problem.
Good job.
The balloon's not the only thing that's lit up.
Let's see if we can get this puppy in the air.
You're just heating up the air in the balloon. It's just regular hot air.
You only do it on cold nights.
Super. weather in the USA, so enjoy yourselves there.
So with that, I've got to turn it back. Do I turn it back to Dan? W6DAS? Question mark, I guess. This is Bruce, N6THN, stroke 7, quartzite. Over.
That's Bruce's shadow on his bike. He rode all over Quartzsite, taking pictures.
Electric bike? No, he's got a little
Motorcycle?
yeah.
The weather was
Okay,
perfect.
here's a 1968 Ford Bronco 302, fuel injected, Dana 44, 5-speed, out here at Quartzsite. So on Wednesday, they had a organized four-wheel drive off-road vehicle day. It lasted about 4 to 5 hours. They put over the radio that everyone was supposed to be ready and lined up by 9 a.m. in the morning. And this is what I saw when I came out to look at all the cars. Jeeps, pickup trucks, ATVs, you name it. I didn't even count how many there were, but the line was long. So I tried to go from the front all the way to the back and photograph every single one of them.
There's over 60 and
Finally,
they
the
split
black
into 3
vehicle's
groups,
the last one.
20 each.
All right, back to the four-wheel drive day. There were so many Jeeps, I stood next to the road to see if I can catch them all. And I barely got them all, but here they come. I had to speed up the film times 4, otherwise it would just be too lengthy. But this gives you an idea of all the Jeeps. And they all had 2-meter radios, and they were all in contact with each other. The leader would tell the instructions which way to turn, where they're going, and everybody else would report in that they made it safely, or they're ready to take a break, or what have you. And now we're just about done. Oh, there's a few more. Sorry. Yeah, they're still coming. It seems like it took 10 minutes for all of them to pass me here. So here we go, and that was that. Okay, this is my water transfer system. Meaning my assistant is tilting the tank so that the water level can be picked up.
I'm the high-tech guy.
Here we go again. Here we go, next. 6.5 gallon tank. There's the pump bumming away. Too bad it wasn't a clear tank. I could show you the water level going down. But I can show you the flow. We're really putting her out. Just like a garden hose.
We had to go a couple of miles to get water and bring it back if we needed it. And that's why he had to pump it into his tank.
All right, that's Dan's trailer of the Sam and he's organizing the dinner tonight, and these are the Sam's Radio Hams trailers and RVs. There's quite a group of them here. Coming around, so they kind of made a circle. And
highlights some of the sources of error in the communication chain. Digital RF communication was mainly text-based and is relatively slow.
So for those of you who have never been to Quartzsite, Arizona, I thought I'd give you a view. This is looking north at the moment. That's west towards California. Coming around towards the south. The sun is behind me on the east. This is early morning.
He's using his
This is
drone.
the
He has a
Roadrunner
drone up there.
BLM campsite where Quartz Fest is held. And you can see trailers way out in the
Man, there's
distance.
a lot of people out there.
All these trailers are camping on the
Thousands of
BLM
trailers,
land.
and nobody's
And that's
crowded.
looking
There's
north towards Quartzsite.
all kinds of space.
Yes, that's right. Bruce, Art, and Don made it from Vacaville and Fairfield. There's our camp. And we joined up with Philip, Zoe, Bill, and Cora. And they're down there waving at us right now. So the 5 trailers settled into the Roadrunner area. Phoenix is that way, that's east. And there you have it. That was the setup. All right, here's our last night at Quartzsite. And we're cooking these Waz dingers. And Uska's holding one right there. And you cook, Art, what do you got there in your plate?
I got a stuffed wadinger.
And how do you make that thing?
You wad a dinger. Then you stuff it.
That explains it all. And everybody's pigging out here at Quartz Fest.
We ate really good out there.
Except me, the cameraman. Here is the Quartz Fest flea market. And it's before dawn.
That's a good idea.
Well, that's what they were organizing earlier in
Sun
the
isn't
movie.
up
They
yet.
were talking about how they're gonna organize it.
And all these guys are out here swapping stuff. Alright, the sun's coming up here in Quartz Fest.
Did you guys stay the whole 2 weeks, Don?
What?
Did you stay 2 weeks?
I stayed a whole week. We stayed a whole week, didn't we, Art?
About 10 days.
10 days.
The sun's just about to come up.
It only costs $40 to camp there. And you get all the water
We
you
were
need.
doing flashlight
You get to
shopping
dump your
earlier this
trailer.
morning. Well, it looks like the Air Force has been alerted to our balloon launch. I see lots of contrails above us.
Oh, so that was what I was gonna ask you about, so, I mean, your destination altitude.
They must be tracking the balloon. All right, well, thanks for watching. There's the Roadrunner placard when you enter the camping area. And I appreciate you watching. I hope you can stick.
Cool.
One other thing, you know when all those Jeeps were going down the road? That was about, you said it was about 9 o'clock. Well, I was supposed to be at the Solano County Sheriff's Office for net control at 10 o'clock. I got in my trailer, I signed on to the net. This is K6SOL with KM6INR at the mic. Mobile in Quartzsite, Arizona, and everybody stopped. They said, what? But I reported in for Solano County, did my duty from Quartzsite.
Nice.
Yeah, right out of my trailer, in my Tar Heel antenna. 100 watts.
On HF?
On HF, yeah, 7192.
Oh.
And that's Bruce's, he's got some videos on his channel, so N6THN, just type that into the YouTube.
Oh, Bruce is a YouTuber, what do you know?
And he has a ton more pictures later on this year. In a future meeting, we'll show all the rest of the pictures.
That's okay, it bounces.
Where did excuse me, when they went off-road, did they have a track that they were going?
Yeah, they take them through all the kinds of sites. I never realized, so my first time doing it, I never realized how beautiful the desert is.
Oh, yes.
Oh, God, yeah.
It is absolutely amazing. The mornings, the evenings, everything about the desert is just amazing.
Oh, yeah, no,
Sunset.
that's where I was at,
Yeah.
field day with my Fallon Back Club, you're out in
Unbelievable.
Stillwater.
Every 5
Wildlife
minutes it
Reserve.
changes.
It's nothing but desert out there.
It's just
Beautiful.
gorgeous, beautiful.
They also, run, year before that, I had my Jeep and I ran it. And they take you out to all the gold mines in the area. They take you out to the petroglyphs that you saw, the original, what do you wanna call it, graffiti of 1,000 years ago. They take you up some of the old washes that go into the canyons. And on one trip, they took us, I went a couple different times, but on one trip, they took us up through a real narrow, windy pass that went over the other side. And when you get over the other side, there's a cliff. And so when you get up to the top, there's a left-hand turn, and it's on an incline. And so you have to make that left-hand turn and go around, because if you don't make it, you'll drop your front wheel off the edge of the road off into the cliff, okay? They'll get you back out, more than, nobody did it that day, but there are stories that people have dropped their front axle over the side, and then you just get another Jeep behind them and literally pull them back. So, but it isn't hard driving. I mean, you don't have to be an expert driver, but you just put it in first gear and just let it idle when it gets up to that point, and just take your time going around. It was great fun. I really enjoyed it. Get my Jeep going again, and I'm gonna pull it down there another time.
It was my first time ever going to Quartzsite. I've been wanting to go for years, and I finally got a trailer and all that. And when you come over on the freeway, you come over a hillside, and you look at what's out there, I kid you not, there's literally thousands of trailers.
Oh, yeah.
On this Bureau of Land Management land. And there's so much space, nobody's crowded. It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
They had a
Do they
group
also
from-
have the gem and the RV show going
Yes.
at the same time?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have, when I went over the first time, we came out of the Blythe and you start going up the grade. And you sort of make a little S-turn, and you hit the top of the ridge, and you go over the top of the ridge. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing, because I've been out there during the summertime. I rode my motorcycle that way when my son was in Texas, and I went over that ridge, and man, there's nothing but desert. I mean, just flat sand. We came back over that ridge in January and came over the top of it, and there was nothing. It looked like white sheep. I mean, literally every place you could go, it was just white from all the trailers. And then when we pulled into one place, we were going down 95 to Roadrunner, and there must have been 40-foot buses, all from Canada, snow geese. And they were literally parked all around a big ring, all the way around with a big Canuck flag hanging up. And it was a sight to be seen. I mean, it was just awesome. I highly recommend it for anybody who has got the time.
Rent a trailer.
It takes
You don't
2
have to
days
own
to
one.
get down there. We took it nice and slow. We went from here down to about Bakersfield, and then Bakersfield down to Palm Springs area. And then the last hop was like about 115 miles. And that was really nice, easy driving, and not really hard at all. And on the way back, we pretty much doubled back, except we went up to Lake Havasu and spent a few days at Havasu, and then came across, coming off Highway 40.
What do they sell at the swap meet?
Pardon?
Everything, all kinds of radios, amplifiers, different types of connectors, wire.
Used or new?
Both.
Both. Some of it's in its original box. The guy says, I just never used it, That ever happened to you? It happened to me. And everybody's nice. It's just, we had 578 ham operators checked in, and that was low attendance because we're just coming off of the pandemic. Normally it's over 1,000. And you're not crowded. It's amazing. We had campfires every night, we brought our own wood, and
We went to the RV show, and I went to the RV show, so did Bruce, the first time, and then after we got through with that, the next day or so, we went to the different events that they had there, and then we bundled up in a truck and headed for town, and went in and went to the GEM show, and then they had a show there of ancient animals, the ones that are prehistoric. And then they had a big swap meet there that's about, I'd say, 4 times the size of this airport. And I mean, you can get lost in that swap meet. Everything and anything you can think of, from guns, because in Arizona they don't have the problems you do in California. Guns, ammunition, to decorative pots that somebody dug up someplace. Statues, like I said, you pick it, it's there. Then you just take it home. My wife talked me into bringing 2 iron horses home. Full size, one of them was full size, sheet metal horse. She liked this Arab horse.
What does this weigh?
Yeah, oh, maybe 150 pounds. I mean, it's thin metal. So
Is that the one in front of your house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at any rate, here's the story real quick. We got the 2 of them. One's big, one's little. Okay, the little one we put in the back of the truck, brought it home. And then I had to hook up the trailer and 2 mattresses and go down and get the other one. So I spent 2 days on the road getting back to Quartzsite, Arizona. We had already paid for it, so it already was off to the side with their name on it. I pulled in, they took it, they laid it over on a side on one mattress, and I put the other mattress on top of it and strapped it in so it couldn't go anyplace. 2 days to get home. Now it's sitting in my front lawn.
That's love.
One last little story, quick one, I'll tell you. I have a truck that has that 7.2 kW generator built in. So I figured I'd run my trailer on it, right? But I always carry my little 3,000 watt backup Goal Zero battery and a solar panel. Well, my trailer ran great on the truck.
Yeah,
Except that
woke us up every half hour.
But every hour or half hour, whatever it is, it would start to have to charge up the big battery. And so it was waking them up, and they told me I was waking them up. So I brought my Goal Zero battery out, and I had just a 100 watt panel. And that wasn't enough. It would, because that battery would run the trailers, I need more charging. So I called Goal Zero. I ordered the 300 watt panel pack. They shipped it to a delivery point right there. I went into town, picked it up, and for the rest of the 10 days, I ran my trailer with 400 watts of solar panels on a 3,000 watt Goal Zero battery. Plugged in, I had all my AC, everything.
And I got to sleep.
Wow, that's pretty good.
And Art got to sleep.
So did Bruce.
And Bruce.
Don?
But if you ever think about going, I wouldn't miss it. I'm going this year, this next coming year. I'll go the following year. I mean, it's just a real blast.
What month is that in?
January.
January is
Over
usually
Costco,
around the
they've got
last
100
part
watt
of the
solar
month.
panels. $100.
That's about right. It's about a buck a watt. It's about a buck a watt.
And that includes a charge controller that doesn't work for lithium, but everything else.
Yeah, I'm using lithium.
For the AGM.
We'll talk more between Bruce, Art, and I, and Kellen. We have a lot to talk to you about with solar and how we're running our trailers and everything. He's got 2,000 watts of solar panels.
He does.
It's crazy.
All right, guys, we're going to call it a night. Hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Had a lot to talk about, obviously.
As always.
I'm very much looking forward to the Cowtown call-in.
Thursdays
That's what we're
at
calling
10:30.
it?
Yes,
Cowtown
the Cowtown call-in.
That's pretty good.
Thursday at 10:30 on the repeater, so don't miss that. Sure to be a good time. And otherwise, you guys are awesome. Thanks so much.